Hello friends, welcome to my channel. I am Mahendra Khainar, Assistant Professor at Bharati Vidyapith Yashwantrao Chavan Law College, Karad. Today, in this video, we are going to see important topic judicial review. In this video, I tried to give you comprehensive details regarding judicial review. So, let's begin. In this video, we are going to cover different aspects related to the concept of judicial review, which will be helpful to the learners. Judicial review is very important topic as far as interpretation of statute, the constitution, jurisprudence is concerned. So first we understand the meaning of judicial review. It is term of two words, judicial review. First we understand what is meant by review. Review means review, that is to scrutinize or to have fresh look. In this sense, judicial review connotes that it is a process and power of judiciary to scrutinize the matter with fresh look. It is a power of court derived from the constitution. It is not an appeal against any decision, but it is a process of reviewing from constitutional perspectives. The purpose or need of the judicial review is to review the lawfulness of executive, judicial or administrative decisions. It is primarily concerned with the method or way or mannerism in which the decision has been made by these authorities. First, let us understand the historical development of this concept. This concept has been established at first time in Supreme Court of United States in two landmark decisions. In 1796, in Hilton versus United States, in this case, the constitutional validity of the Carriage Act 1794 was examined under the process of judicial review, and the act was declared as unconstitutional. In a very famous and landmark case of Marbury versus Madison in 1803, the Supreme Court of America first time asserted its authority of judicial review. This has established the concept of judicial review very firmly in the field of law. In India, judicial review is the outcome of the mixture of the concept of rule of law and rule of separation of power. In India, the concept of judicial review has not been developed in any one of particular case, but it has been pronounced and applied in many cases. In India, the Supreme Court and High Courts has a power to make judicial review to test the constitutional validity of executive, legislative or administrative decision. The power of judicial review has not been conferred by any specific provision of the Constitution, but it is derived from the different provisions of the Constitution and the constitutional spirit. There are three aspects which comes under judicial review. They are judicial review of legislative action, including amendments made to the Constitution or enacting any legislative enactment. Second, judicial review of its own earlier decisions by the Supreme Court or High Courts. Judicial review of executive or administrative actions and decisions. Now question arose, what are the grounds of judicial review? Let's understand it. Judicial review can be made on the ground of illegality, procedural unfairness or irrationality in legislative enactments or earlier decisions or of executive or administrative decisions. At this backdrop, we can understand the significance or importance of judicial review in our legal system. It helps to apply rule of law, to keep check and balance on public bodies and to make them more accountable, and to control arbitrary or unjust exercise of power. However, the power of judicial review exercised by Superior Court gave rise to conflict between judiciary and other wings of the Constitution. Supreme Court assumed superiority over Parliament and executives. A.K. Gopalan's case 1950, in its early stage of development, Supreme Court adopted strict approach declaring that the power of judicial review is subordinate to the procedure established by the law. In other words, parliamentary democracy and superiority was accepted. Same view of parliamentary superiority was adopted in the cases of Shankari Prasad, Sajjan Singh and others. However, conflict arose in IC Golaknath's case, where Supreme Court observed that the amendment power of the Parliament under Article 368 does not include power to amend fundamental rights. However, this view refreshed in landmark Keshwananda Bharati's case. In this case, it was held power to amend under Article 368 includes power to amend fundamental right also, but its basic structure cannot be amended. In Indira Gandhi versus Raj Narayan's case, the power of judicial review was considered as one of the basic structures of the constitution. This view is well established and well settled principle in India. Judicial review is the part and parcel of basic structures of the constitution. Recently, in Shivraj Singh Chauhan versus Speaker of Madhya Pradesh in April 2020, judicial review of governor's discretion was made. Same in Sachidananda Rai versus Jharkhand High Court on 7th April 2020, this court is considered about the scope of judicial review and restricted the power of judicial review of High Court under Article 226. Rule of caution has been issued by Supreme Court in L. Chandrakumar's case while making judicial review. In judicial review, it is necessary to discuss Schedule 9. Schedule 9 has been inserted by way of First Amendment to the Constitution in 1950, which brought Article 31A and 31B, conferring rights upon states to make laws to acquire property and to keep this law under Schedule 9 so as to immune from any judicial review. Huge dichotomy seen in between Doctrine of Basic Structure, Schedule 9 and Rule of Judicial Review, as these are at prima facie opponent to each other. Rule in Keshwananda Bharati's case proclaimed Doctrine of Basic Structure, which widened the scope of judicial review. Even amendments to the Constitution are made open to challenge under judicial review. Many state governments and even central government misused Schedule 9. Since the First Amendment in 1950, the Schedule 9 has been relied upon to amend the Constitution multiple times and to immune these laws from the purview of judicial review. Several laws and constitutional amendments have been inserted under Schedule 9. In its highest degree of iniquity by 76th Amendment to the Constitution, which has been challenged in I.R. Kohelu versus State of Tamil Nadu, the Supreme Court clearly held that a law which abrogates any of the fundamental rights or basic structures of the Constitution, such a law will have to be invalidated in exercise of judicial review power of court. By this landmark ruling of Supreme Court, we can say that the supremacy of the Constitution is shifted to the supremacy of the Supreme Court, being final interpreter of the Constitution, as well as the guardian, savior and protector of the Constitution. Merits or advantages of the rule of judicial review can be measured, like it enables and supports the judiciary to act as the guardian of the Constitution, particularly fundamental rights. Judicial review is also necessary to preserve the sanctity of the Constitution by way of expertise of Supreme Court. Critics of the rule of judicial review pointed out certain demerits or disadvantages of it, like it may violate the spirit of separation of power, that is, by giving overriding power to judiciary. To conclude, it can be said that it is not a question who is supreme, judiciary or parliament, but it is a cardinal rule to uphold the public interest. Flexibility and system of check and balance between different organs of the government and between different wings of the Constitution is the beauty of Indian Constitution. It is envisaged by its framers in the preamble. Hope you like the video. Thank you.